Hey everybody, welcome to the Round 6 Player Ratings video. If you're new around here and you've never seen a Player Ratings video, welcome. If you are returning and you watch them every week, welcome back. Basically what I do is I only start the conversation here with the player ratings. I give what I think is a score out of 10 for each player based on their role in the team, standing in the team, experience levels, and how they executed all of the above. And really just to start the conversation, and you guys will make any adjustments to the ratings in the video below. So I look forward to starting this conversation and seeing where it takes us, because it was a disappointing performance, an unacceptable performance, and very much a lot of the same that we have all seen for 25 odd years now. It's just nothing's really changing. So we're going to go through it. I've watched the game the day after. I didn't have the emotional investment of being in the trenches with you guys during the game yesterday. So I think maybe there's a little bit more of a level-headedness to how I saw the game. However, there's a lot of failings from last night, and there's going to be a lot of home truth spoken. So let's begin. We'll start as the team is named: Liam Stocker, Liam Jones, and Lockie Plowman. Stocks, it's tough. I watched him the week before in the reserves, and I promise you, his kicking was sublime. It was unreal. He didn't get the job done yesterday. I gave him a 3 for his game. It was a bit tough. It's hard to see him play as the last defender on the ground, and to be isolated like that. I just don't think that's where he's suited. I know he played very well in the reserves the week before in a similar position, but Teague spoke about how they've rediscovered how he's got that competitiveness on the inside as a midfielder, and so to have him play in the back line and not even give him any touches up the ground was disappointing for me. Dangerous kick in the first, he turned it over. Silly kick again in defensive 50, forced the turnover for the Hipwood goal. Nice contested mark, but unfortunately he kicked it behind for Brisbane. It was just, didn't play very well. However, having said that, in my opinion, if Paddy Dow gets 4 weeks at it, Liam Stocker should get 4 weeks at it. Give him a run of games. Let him work into it. Let him build off that, because he is a competitor. And you can't teach that competitiveness, it turns out. But the skills and the, him getting used to the level and the speed of the game, hopefully will come. So I want to persist with him. I gave him a 3. Liam Jones, oh my God, I thought his first half was abysmal. I really did. And just as bad as what his first half was, I thought his second half was even better. He was inspirational in the second half, and depends how you look at it. The game might have been dead to you, or whatever the case may be. I just thought he was really, really good in the second half. And for me, it was enough to push him up to a 6. 5 obviously being a bare pass mark. I thought he just eclipsed that a little bit and he responded. So I gave him a 6. But again, you share your thoughts. Plowman, I didn't notice anything significant from him for the most part of the game. There were a few little moments. He had good composure in the second quarter. 13:40 to go. He didn't rush the kick. He faked the handball and held possession and got the kick out of defence. The intercept mark in the second quarter, 10 minutes, 22 to go. And then, missed tackle with 40 seconds to go in the second quarter were things that stood out. And then apart from that, he was very unassuming. Obviously, I'm watching it on the screen. I didn't see his work rate on the ground or his talk. So I gave him a 3 for his game. I just didn't think he was good. Doherty, Wiedering, Saad next. Doherty, another one who I didn't notice anything significant from in that first quarter, which was probably our best quarter. Fumbly mark attempt in the second quarter with 15:24 to go, and he puts his teammates under pressure. The good thing was right after he made that really strong tackle on McCluggage. There was a very important moment. I have given him a 4 for his game. However, there was a very important moment which I think has been forgotten. In the second quarter, 6 minutes and 5 seconds to go. If you go watch the replay, it was a very poor moment that I spoke about in my review where they were jogging back and there was one person sprinting back, and that was Doc. So that was good to see, but again, that's what is expected as opposed to getting extra brownie points for. So that was a good moment. He slips over in the third quarter, and my heart's in my mouth because he just didn't look on. He just didn't have a presence about him yesterday as a captain should, and it's disappointing. He let McCarthy slip for the mark in the third quarter with 2:45 to go. We got caught looking for the offensive run. He misread the ball. It is what it is. Intercept mark in the fourth quarter, 11:10, which was really good, but the kick to Gibbons was poor. So we really didn't have I just didn't think he had a good game. I know the stats will say that he's had 28 touches and he's gone at, over 75% or whatever it is. But I thought in the crucial captain's moments, I just thought he let us down. And so for that reason, I gave him a 4 for his game. Jacob, pretty much just gave him a pass mark, gave him a 5. Didn't notice anything significant from him as well. I don't need to because he is a lockdown defender. Gave away some shots on goal to Joe Danaher, who luckily for us didn't convert. Danaher ends up kicking 1 goal, but could have very easily been 2 or 3 if he was actually a great forward. So there's that. Look, he's positioned well. There was a very tough, deliberate out-of-bounds call on him, which was shocking. Absolutely shocking. And I kind of would have enjoyed to be in the crowd just to, give the abuse to the umpires in that moment. But yeah, I thought he was okay, did his job. We move on. Adam Saad, I understand he's fasting and it's Ramadan and, unbelievable what he's able to do and play through that. So obviously you want to give respect to him, and what he's doing as a human being first. But I just thought I thought that was his worst game for the year. Didn't notice anything significant early. He was at fault for Devon Robertson's second goal. He waltzed through a couple of players. I thought he got exposed defensively in a few moments. The mark to Cameron on the lead with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. He wasn't quick enough, but he's quick enough when he's got the ball. There was a great contest in the third, 10 minutes 25 to go with McCluggage, and he won it. And then he got exposed again for a Cameron goal, 17 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and I just thought it was not a good game. So I gave him a 2, because I expect him to be one of our best 5 or 6 players. So that's where the context of where they're standing in the team comes into play. Next up, Murphy, Walsh, Cottrell. Murph, I thought he did his job, especially in that first quarter. I think he had 7 or 8 touches, kicked a goal. I think he had 10 or 11 in the first half. He kicked a goal in the second quarter. He's ended with 19 touches and 2 goals. A lot of people will say, yeah, but he's only had 1 tackle. Yeah, but he's had 19 touches and 2 goals. It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for something to be angry about, you'll find it. If you're looking for something positive, you'll find it. I just think at the end of the day, what's his role? He's a forward offensive player, and he did his job. 19 touches, 2 goals, gets the tick for me. I gave him a 6. I thought it was just above a pass mark. Sam Walsh, running out of things to say. I gave him a 9. Just keeps going. And just the one thing I really do, I pray that he doesn't lose the will to want to win, because he's got it. And I pray that this football club doesn't sap the energy from him. And I hope he doesn't look around and see that his teammates are fucking failing him, and he just gives up as well and say, why should I try? I just hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't get to him. It's going to take a really, really strong guy to push through for years and years and years. I think one of his co-captains, if not both of them, have already succumbed in a way at certain points to the pressure and the losing, and it's just weighing on them. Whereas Walsh is still pretty young, and I just hope he just keeps going. I love him. I love everything he's about. So many moments. The one was really good was third quarter, 14:31 to go. He streams into the forward line, lowers his eyes, hits up Harry, and you just think, fuck, this kid's something else. Everyone else would have blazed away in that situation, but he didn't. So I gave him a 9. Cottrell, I didn't notice anything significant from him. I gave him a 3. Just second quarter, 9:10 to go. He bangs it on the boot. Just handball the ball, son. Like, use the right option. It was a nothing game for me. I gave him a 3. Next up, Cunningham, McGovern, Fogarty. Cunningham, I thought he was okay. I gave him just a bare pass mark. I liked when he played at stoppages and sort of sprinted into stoppages and won the ball and broke tackles. I thought, that's Cunningham at his best. The challenge now is, can I see that again next week? And can I see that for 4 straight weeks? Can I see consistency in that sort of effort from him? Beautiful positioning for the movement, as I said, for Harry's forward to H off the turnover, I should say. Strong tackle in the third, 650, which I thought was a significant moment. The streaming clearance with the first bounce in the fourth quarter, that's what I want to see from Cunningham. He just attacked the contest really well, and it looks like the Spell and the Twos did a good job, and I just hope it continues for a couple of weeks. McGovern, good goal in the first. He set up Harry's goal as well. He had a few of those almost moments. He looked dangerous, provided the contest. He went missing a little bit in that third quarter, I thought. Did have a poor miss as well in the first quarter. 5 minutes 20 to go in the fourth. He's kicked a goal, his second goal, which was a nice set shot. Game was dead, so it's hard. Do you give him the credit for kicking the goal? Do you say, oh, well, where was that half an hour ago? I don't really know. Did he do his job? Is the question. Did he do his job? I need more. I'm asking for more. I feel bad for asking for more, but I just need more from him. He's so much better. I don't know. I gave him a 4 for his game. I didn't think he did his job completely, but it was very close. It was very close to just a bare pass mark, but because I'm expecting more from him, I'm going to give him a 4, but he wasn't the worst player on the ground. Fogarty, probably his worst game for the season. I didn't really notice him do many things that were significant for the cause, so I gave him a 4 for his game. Betts, I gave him a 4 for his game. He dropped a sitter in the first, 13:45 to go. Couldn't believe it. He had Harry for a handball. Again, that first quarter with 6 minutes 14 to go. He should have handballed to Harry. He went for the goal. Fair enough, but he missed it, so the criticism comes. He set up Kerner's goal in the third quarter, 15:11 to go. He took a mark in transition, 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, 15 metres out. Like, Eddie, what are you doing, son? What are you doing, mate? Like, you're Eddie Betts, or you are the former Eddie Betts, it looks like at this stage. That's the reality, harsh truths. He looks like the former Eddie Betts, He missed again in the third quarter, 4:28. He had players open. He missed again in the fourth quarter. Look, he wants it. He's obviously wanting it, taking the responsibility. But and if he kicks a lot of these goals, so be it. We're happy. But the reality is he hasn't. And 4 behinds, got the shots on goal, got the pressure. Well, he didn't lay a tackle, so there's that as well, which is something he needs to be doing in the team. So I gave him a 3 or 4. I'll give him a 4. We'll see what you think. Harry Mackay, thank goodness he got out of the little slump that he found himself in, and that's what he's got to do. He's going to have ups and downs, but he's got to make sure that when the downs come, he's ready to respond with the ups. I thought he beat Harris Andrews really well yesterday. He just was in Harris Andrews' head, and Harry's coming along nicely. He's actually developing pretty well. He's in his what was that? His 53rd or 54th game. He's kicked 6 goals too. He's kicked a bag of 7 this year as well. He's kicked 22 for the season after 6 rounds. We as fans cannot really ask for much more. We were hoping for 35 to 40 goals for the year. He looks on track for a 55, 60 goal season minimum. We've only played 6 rounds, so he's coming along nicely. The set shot is a set shot. Spoke to one of my best mates this morning. He's like, I can't handle his kicking, and he didn't play well. My thing is, this is Harry. This is who he is, and he's owning it. So you either complain until you get over it, or you understand that this is what he feels comfortable doing. Would I like him to have a routine set shot where he walks up straight? Yes. But I'm all for innovation. I'm all for change if it means improvement. I know that most Australians are very conservative, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, all of that. But the players are obviously more comfortable. Well, forget the players. Harry is obviously more comfortable kicking around the body like that. We just hope that it doesn't cost us a final one day down the track, because that'll be a disaster. So I gave him a 9 for his game, 6 goals too, room for improvement, but he's kicked 6 goals and he's absolutely done his job. Levi, dumb kick in the first quarter into a Lions player, 13:37 to go. He learnt from that mistake with the next significant situation where he waited for Mark Murphy to give him the handball. 3 minutes 10 to go in the first. He competed pretty well in the ruck, I thought, particularly in that second quarter, even though we got pounced. I love the cleanup of Leicester and the presence. I love the fact that he was willing to hurt someone, but he's just filling a role. He's a body at this stage for me. The way I see him in the team now, because Kerner's injured, because Oscar Mack is injured, because we've got a few guys that just can't be in the side like Jack Silvani and whatnot. He's got to play, and he's a body. That's what he is. He's a role player. He's a body. I don't expect goals from him. Did he do his job? I guess so. I guess he did. Gave him a 5, but is that going to be enough moving forward? I just don't think so. That's the reality. So, obviously love him and, Carlton man, all of this, but the honest truth is are we really winning a flag with Levi in the side, in the future? My answer is no. But he's on the list. He's important to have on the list for situations like this where we have injuries to key players that would be playing in his spot. So, what do you say? Pitto, Cripps, and Zach Williams. Pitto, I thought he was beaten. I didn't notice many significant moments from him. I gave him a 4. Cripps, I want to give him some credit. Last week, we just asked him to use the best option and play to his strengths. 21 handballs. He took the first option most, if not every single time. I don't really remember a moment where I said, "Oh, just give the ball off and stop trying to take him on." He was hurting. The miss in the second quarter. It hurts. It doesn't hurt as badly as last week, maybe because last week was also littered with just hero moments, whereas I really thought he stepped up and did better against the Lions last night. He hasn't had as much of the ball. He's had 25 touches, but I really wanted to give him some credit after last week, and I did think he played a captain's game in terms of making the right option. If he kicks that goal, it's a totally different situation. I've given him a 6, maybe a 7 is the move, and if he kicks that goal, he gets himself into that 8 territory. But those moments they suck and they hurt more than when other people miss, in my opinion. But I do want to give him some credit because he was a lot better as making doing the right things yesterday. So well done to Cripper. Zachy Williams starting to get a little bit. I'm starting to get a little bit panicky. I don't want to cause distress amongst everyone else, and my honest opinion is, fuck, we've done it again. That's my honest opinion so far. I know he's got to get used to the club, the climate, the surroundings, and maybe that'll take time, but like he needs to be classier. I know he's a grunt player, so maybe that's just maybe my expectations are a shot. Maybe this is the current landscape. If you want to get a player of that caliber in the open market, you've got to pay overs. I'm not seeing what we paid for yet. Just yet. Does he need to go behind the ball? I wouldn't hate that. I think that could be the move to have Samo on the ball a bit more, or even Liam Stocker. I think there's some tinkering to do. I don't know. There's a bit of a question mark around what to expect and what to do with Zach Williams. Do we have to wait for Jack Martin to come back into the side so we can see how this works? Because I think the idea was the two of them rotate with each other. But I just thought last night he wasn't good enough. His first kick of the game, he's streaming forward, he shanks it. Disgusting turnover in the second, 5 minutes, 5 to go for Hipwood's fourth shot on goal. I called it Balenciaga football on a Kmart budget, all good to get that salary and look good on off the field, but on the field, we are fucking demanding something from you, mate. You have a fucking responsibility to this football club. I don't want another guy collecting paychecks. I think this guy's got everything we need. He's got the class, he's got the grunt, he's got the skill, he's got the heart and the desire, but he needs to lift. Like this is real now, Zach. Like this is real. You are a part of us now, and I'm not seeing it yet. And I'm sure he demands more of himself, but I need a little bit more. I need a lot more. I need a lot more class than what we have seen so far, in my opinion. So I still love what he's about, but I don't think he's playing anywhere near to what we need him to. So there's that. I gave him a 4 for his game. And then I've got the bench, Samo, Nunes, Ed Kerner, and Gibbons. Samo, I thought he looked to play a little bit more in the midfield early in the game. Maybe it was on the wing. It was good to see. It was a poor kick to Cripps after the Cripps handball to his advantage in the first quarter. Just complete turnover with 7:14 to go. Came off sore in the first. I don't really know what happened. So if anyone's got any information on that, please let me know. He was fucking around with the footy in the second quarter. Didn't go hard enough at a particular contest with 3:15 to go. Sometimes he tries to be a little bit too cute. Good inside 50 to Michael Gibbons in the third with 19 minutes to go. It was... I don't really know how to judge his game. I like the fact that he played the role that he did. He had the 19 touches in the end. I'm asking for more because I think he can give us more. Did he do his job? Maybe just. I've given him a 5, so we'll leave it there. Jack Nunes, I genuinely didn't notice anything significant about his game last night. Like, not one note. So I gave him a 3 for his game. I didn't think he played very well. Just a really nothing performance for me. Ed Kerner, he was another one in the first quarter. I didn't notice anything significant, but he lifted big time. The inside 50 to Harry's goal in the third early, the inside 50 to Gibbons in the third with 15:50 to go. I just thought he lifted together with Liam Jones, and he ends up having the 30 touches and 7 tackles, and he just battles away and he keeps going. I gave him a 7 for his game. I might be a little lenient, but I just thought he lifted heavily. And Gibbo, I think that was probably the worst game I've seen him play for the Carlton Football Club. They put him forward. He's not a forward. Is what it is. Strong mark on the lead in the third with 19 minutes to go. He gave away a silly free kick to Neil for in the back. Took a mark from Ed Kerner in the third or the fourth, I think it was. 15-50. He missed the goal. Just didn't really give us what we've seen for most, if not every single week this year. So I gave him a 2 for his game. I thought he was pretty poor, to be honest. I thought it was pretty poor. So look, that's how I saw it. Those are the ratings. Again, they're not right. They're not wrong. They're just a conversation. Don't take them too seriously. But just for the purposes of us having something to talk about, to dissect so we can move on next week, they're there. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm looking forward to getting back to the footy next week against the Bombers in what looks like an unbelievable matchup. I mean, oh God, I don't want to imagine losing. I just don't. I don't want to imagine it. Share your thoughts in the comments. I look forward to discussing them with you, and we will go from there. With that, we're done. Go the Mighty Blues.